Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to have Elliot Ferguson here from Washington, D.C., nation's capital. Elliot, it's about a year since we last spoke, formally like this. Things have changed somewhat.
A little bit. Thanks, Graham, again for the opportunity to talk to you. And things have changed. The one thing that hasn't changed is the fact that as an industry and as a country, we really cherish global travel and travel from, of course, the European countries to the United States.
Good. There's been lots going on. What's going on in DC? Let's get that big event recently.
Yeah, absolutely. We were very fortunate to have hosted World Pride just a week ago, and to really showcase Washington to a global audience that really perhaps has perceptions of Washington as a government town, but not a fun, vibrant city that we love to promote on a regular basis. Of course, as they were there to focus on advocacy issues, health issues, sports-related issues, and of course, just having a good time in the city, it was a great commercial for us to really showcase Washington through a different lens.
Good. Lots of things have happened, as I said, in the country. Lots of questions that lots of people want to ask. Let's take Brand USA, for example, something that you were involved in until quite recently. What's your opinion on the future? There's the threat of great reduction in their budgets, but there's also discussions about potentially that a smaller Brand USA may be actually more beneficial because it would focus on destinations such as your own. And there's a perception that Brand USA is the USA, whereas I'm coming to DC, I'm not necessarily coming to the USA. I know it sounds silly, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I understand. I'll start by, focusing on the importance of Brand USA to promoting the United States as a country, of course, DC as well. 13 years ago when it was created, I was on the board of US Travel, still remain on the board, subsequently became chairman of the board, and was very much so pro-US, Brand USA's existence and promoting the US as a whole. That hasn't changed. Yes, I was chair. New administration that's in the White House now eliminated several roles, including the officers of Brand USA. I was the chair at the time. It wasn't personal, but it was disappointing because we really were wanting to focus on what Fred Dixon and his team, with him being new to the role, would do in terms of the next iteration of Brand USA. So as funding is being really compromised or perceived to perhaps be compromised, very concerned about that, because I think that Brand USA needs to continue to get the adequate or have the adequate funding to promote the United States in the same way that Visit Great Britain and other key countries are able to promote themselves. I rely very heavily, as do many of us on US Travel, to make sure that message resonates on Capitol Hill and within the White House, and we're optimistic as we look at moving forward.
Good. And do you think that, the next there's lots of big events next year, but the big international event, I suppose, will be FIFA 2026. Do you think that's a huge opportunity for America to show, we are welcoming, we welcome everyone from the world, come on down?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, for us, it was World Cup. This week, it's Club Cup, which is the precursor to World Cup next year. And then, of course, next year with us hosting FIFA World Cup, America's 250th, all of the events and activities that are taking place around the United States, we hope that will showcase us through a different lens in terms of we welcome global visitors to our country. We want people to feel safe when they're coming in, the ease of getting through customs and security to get into the U.S. Those things will resonate more than perhaps some of the negative perceptions that are out there.
And is there anything that DC, your own destination, is doing? I mean, obviously welcome with a huge event like Pride, but outside of the norm to say, we are welcoming?
Yeah, the key thing for us is to really focus on the community as a whole. There's 535 people that are members of Congress that are voted in, that come into Washington, D.C., that pass laws, that, love them or hate them, that's their job. But the 700,000 plus residents of Washington, those who really cherish how global we are as a destination, the 14+% part of our community that identifies LGBTQ plus, the welcome, the warmth, the international presence, the 175 plus embassies in the city, that's the Washington that we want to have resonate with visitors that are coming to the city. Of course, the fact that there are 100 free things to see and do, including the Smithsonian's, the zoo, the pandas. These are things that really visitors coming to the U.S. will be able to enjoy. Non-stop flights into Dulles, ease of access similar to the Tube in London with our metro system, which is safe and secure. These are things that, again, as folks are looking at coming to the U.S. for World Cup, for America's 250, for other events and celebrations, that they'll consider Washington as a part of their itinerary.
Lovely. Well, I wish you the very best of luck over the next couple of years.
Thank you, Graham. I appreciate that.
Cheers.
Cheers.